Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, I have a response to James Tiny Vest regarding tracking my macros. Before I get into that topic, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. The best topic ideas I turn into videos just like this. If you need coaching, slide into my Instagram at Ben the Barman, or email me benthebarman@gmail.com. All right, so Sunday morning, my wife is making masks. Her business is considered non-essential, but she is a seamstress and she's making masks for the community and taking donations and just working her ass off, right? So popped up my computer and I saw a video from James Tiny Vest, and hey, there's my name. It's always an honor to be featured on his channel because James is one of the few people in the industry I respect. And if James says something, I pay attention. There's not many people in this industry that have that power over me, but James is one of those old school guys that gets it, and he's wise. So please follow him. So he was talking about my video about tracking macros. I made a video discussing, I don't really track macros, and when I decided to track them, I found my protein was, 155, 165. I think it was 163. And some people were pretty shocked that my protein was so low. I was discussing that a little bit in the video, how I've never really tracked macros. And by that, obviously I have 35 years of experience and I know about where my protein is. I'm not a fool. I mean, the first couple of years, into the bodybuilding world, I was very particular. I was very OCD. I was very obsessive compulsive, and I knew I was eating 5 meals a day of about 30 grams of protein at least. So that was the baseline for me. So if you can imagine, you do that for a couple of years, and then for the rest of your life, it's pretty much on autopilot. I've never tracked fats. I've never tracked carbs. With that said, though, I've always had a relentless, focus on good nutrition, on balanced nutrition, on getting in my my fruits and my vegetables and my good quality carbs. I've introduced a lot of people over the years to quinoa and black rice long before social media. Things like this became the norm on social media. I'm a big proponent of eating real food. So that is kind of what works for me. Now, James made the point that the more particular he gets, the more he tracks, the more dialed in he gets, the better his results are. And I completely agree, because I don't want anybody to misinterpret what I do and with what somebody that's being super precise for bodybuilding. I'm kind of a shotgun guy. And here's what I mean. I like to run. I like to hike. I like to power build. I like to obviously I've trained for powerlifting. And I like to be muscular, but my degree of muscularity isn't a bodybuilder's degree of muscularity. So I like to do a wide variety of things. That's just kind of my lifestyle. I like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of ultra running, a little bit of powerlifting, a little bit of bodybuilding, a little bit of hiking. You know what I'm saying? I'm all over the place. If I were to get into the bodybuilding world 100%, would I track things? Absolutely. I would get more precise, because that's kind of the name of the game. When I am working with, somebody might say, well, on your channel, you don't really talk about that. You don't try to get people to focus on precise. Are you a hypocrite? No, here is the deal, and I want you to understand this. The main problem with people trying to build muscle is they're not consistent at all. They're not consistent with their calories, and they're not consistent with their protein intake. So what my main goal on this channel is to get people consistent with those two. Because if they can get consistent with those two, they will be at the 90% level. Right? If your calorie intake is consistent, your protein intake is consistent, you're about at that 90% level. Where for the average Joe, that's really all you need to be at, because you're not trying to be a bodybuilder, you're not trying to be a power lifter, you're not trying to be an ultra runner, you're not trying to be all these silly things that I'm trying to be. You just want to improve, add a little bit of muscle. So that is why I try to take people from where they're at now just to get them consistent with calories and protein, because I think that is a great start. And if I am working with a client, and I have worked with clients that have competed, that have been in the off season trying to build muscle mass to specifically compete in the sport of bodybuilding. When I am working with these people, they have their protein down, they have their consistency down, and then we look at the rest of the picture. So once somebody has that nailed and they are training for a specific, bodybuilding type of goal, we will make sure that all their nutrition is in check. Because I really, personally, even though I don't track macros, I really, really believe in making every food choice count. If you look at some of the meals I post on Instagram, we are very plant heavy. We eat a wide variety of fruits and vegetables and you name it, every single week, a wide variety of protein sources. I'm really big on micronutrient content in my food. I'm really big on nailing the food choices. And even though I'm not in the bodybuilding world, when I'm working with a client specifically that wants to build maximum amount of muscle for the goal of competing in bodybuilding, we will make sure they maximize their food choices. We will make sure they're not just getting in their macros, but they're getting in their micros, so their body can repair and recover and be as efficient as possible. So even though I don't have the same goals as James Tiny Vest, I'm still trying to be as efficient as possible with my nutrition for my specific goals. Lots of micronutrients, lots of, meats, fruits, vegetables. We put nuts and seeds in our Greek yogurt. We just try to get, I use, like this morning, for example, I use Gerbs. I believe it's 7-seed or 5-seed blend. I try to just get as much of a wide variety of different types of choices in every possible day. So, does the average individual need to count macros? Well, the average individual needs to, before they shoot for the stars, they need to master the basics, and that is consistency with calorie intake and protein intake. And if they really want to, once they have done that, and once they are training appropriately, which is very, very difficult. A lot of people think they're training appropriately. Once they are training appropriately, and once they are consistent with their food intake, then yes, then maybe there might be a need to refine the process. But honestly, not a lot of people are there. That's why not a lot of people are packing on the muscle mass they want. I know it when I see it. James Tiny Vest knows it when he sees it. If somebody comes to him and they're nailing their calories, they're nailing their protein, they're nailing their training, then absolutely take it to the next level if you want maximum amount of muscle mass. But if you are one of these guys that are spinning their wheels and you're not consistent with calories, you're not consistent with protein, and you really haven't figured out why you're not building muscle yet, you need to put all those pieces of the puzzle in play before you start worrying about the things that are the next level. You need to worry about the 90%, and then once you master the 90%, then refine the last 10%. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. If you made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a good day. And just a reminder, I emailed James Tiny Vest last month and he responded. I'm still trying to get him on this channel for a long extended video. So go over and spam him and tell him, hey, the big hairy ugly dude wants to talk to you.